I do apologize for being late today. I was doing several things. Kind of a get stuff done morning. So stuff did get done. One of those things. Oh shoot, that actually wasn't supposed to happen. I was about to test the strength of the super glue here and it immediately broke. I'll have to reglue it. I was trying to fix my necklace here. So, this necklace has a screw top, right? And I was wearing it during the recent non-dark. Out and about. We're walking on the sidewalk. Walkable cities. And all of a sudden, we hear this clunk right behind me. And the top had come off. Now, I don't know if the top came off because the grooves weren't good, or the top came off because just sitting on my chest, it was bouncing enough to unscrew. But either way, that was just kind of like a what moment. So I was sitting down to super glue it right now, and apparently I should have let it sit longer. Because yeah, I could just unscrew that right now. So I guess I'll have to do that again. But that was like one of several things I was doing this morning. You know how it is. You just get into a get stuff done zone. And you get stuff done. Everyone in chat, no, we don't know what that's like. Oh, oh my god. Well, now I have super glue on my hands. Yeah, this is the amount of respect I have for this game. Slowly super gluing the thing. You know what? Okay. Funny thing, in all honesty, it would actually be better if I do this right now. So it can set for the remainder of the day. This time I'll let it sit for a day rather than like 20 minutes. Okay. Put this over here. So. And that's just coming right off. What the world? Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, okay. Sorry, that was actually another part that was unscrewing. So never mind, it's repaired. Woo! Behold. You're getting very sleepy. You never want to watch FF11 again. So if I put it here, you can't really tell it's there, can you? Yeah, you can't. Even if I go down here, you can barely tell it's there. You can see it if you're looking for it, but otherwise you can barely tell. If I put it up here. Yeah. I think I'll leave it there. And my camera's like, what? What? Camera stop being where? What? Okay. I'll just leave it there for right now. 3 days later, clang! What was that? Okay, so I guess I should play the game. Good morning, everyone. Jokes aside, I'm looking forward to today because today we're gonna finish up. We're gonna finish up Vanilla, Zillart, and Promathia. I was even telling Pax about this last night. It's like, yep, this is the time to get this crap done. Lock it in, lock it out, let's go. So, step 1. Hi. Lord Runner, how lovely to see you. Oh? I finally found you, adventurer. Many a sleepless night I have spent on your trail. Did you relay my message to that rogue? I must apologize for the rude intrusion, Lady Henry, but this is a matter of life and death. You must know, adventurer. Where is that common-born cad? Common-born? Sir Livens, might you be speaking to the man in the red mask? If that scoundrel laid so much as a finger upon you. Calm yourself, noble knight. As it happens, this gentleman holds a message for you from the very man you seek. Message? What does it say? I await you in the in the Bob range. As a knight of honor, I challenge you to a duel. And he immediately rushes off. Such a hot-headed young man. Yeah, I like our Louvrance better. Might you follow him to Bob and see that he returns safely? Yes. Time to go to Bob. Ah. I might have a waypoint here. We'll find out in a minute. Greetings! Hi, Two-Base Master. I never did figure out what that's from. Like, I could hear it so clearly in my head. Greetings! And obviously, we said it all the time in Planescape Torment, but it was all text. So that's not what it's from. Anyways. Bob. Is that Bob? That looks like Bob. I guess if I had to pronounce it, I would say Ula Giron. But I'm going to stick with Bob. Whoa, my God.
Hey. Please don't go fast. Catch things periodically. There's lots of cool Pokemon.
Did I tell you? I think I figured out why all the cars are being weird.
What?
All the cars have been weird. They've been parking on the street the last couple days.
Oh, no, there was an estate sale.
So anyways, there's a sale.
Yeah, there's an estate sale.
I didn't know it was an estate sale. It looked like a yard sale.
Yeah, no, there's an estate sale.
Okay, have fun.
Goodbye.
Stop this Louvrance. No. No, this is in-game music. I haven't replaced any of this. My arduous training has finally paid off. You should spend your next life as a friar, my friend. You have much to do penance for. Oh, time to kill you. Thank you for the distraction, Laura. It appears the villain underestimated me. I'm not the man I once was. After my defeat to a dread dragon, I honed my battle skills to a much finer edge. I have pledged myself to defend the peace of this world. My path lies beyond the Shadow Lord and Dark Divinity. The mysterious Keeper of the Apocalypse is my true opponent. But we're past that. Ah, but I've said too much. You must leave this ultimate blackguard to me. Let us meet again when the world has been made a safer place by Louvrance and Misteo. I mean, ignoring the fact that this guy's a jackass who's obviously not acting like our Louvrance. He's wearing purple. So... you know. Hi, Valerian. I need tungsten. So I was going to ask you something yesterday, and then you bailed on me in mid-sentence. I feel so abandoned. That's what I meant. Sorry. When I say the real Louvrance, I mean the one that we've been dealing with this entire time. That's actually what I meant. And the way I phrased that probably gives across my opinion on him. Anyways. I'll ask again after a cutscene. Because after this we gotta go to... Windhurst. Hence the cringe, von Falkenstein. I must say, I feared blood would be spilled when I witnessed the hostile demeanor of the young knight. Praise Altana, he returned to us unharmed. Oh my, you say his opponent is not as fortunate. How dreadful. Shall I offer up a prayer for his poor soul? Oh, well, the spirit of the man has said this to say to you. If you had not ruined the trap I set at Carpenter's Landing, there would have been no reason to let me die. Your lack of reaction is most disconcerting. Do you tire of my performance? I suppose it's not surprising, considering the phenomenal events you've witnessed. Let's toast our reunion and the continued existence of this dreary world. When I think of the danger we face to avert catastrophe, the blissful ignorance around me is somehow infuriating. One of the things that have been disturbed here are individual fates. If events had proceeded according to plan, I would have been able to receive aid from the Western Kingdom in the restoration of Tavnazia. However, the precious star of Tavnazia was lost when Prish hurled it into the face of Promathia. And doing anything to incur the wrath of the Cardinal would be foolish now that I know her true identity. In any case, I have lost interest in prying open the gates of paradise after seeing the land of Altea with my own eyes. But all was not in vain. The name I lived under for so long need not be my prison anymore. It's far easier to play the role of a common man than to be a reckless fool, you know. After meeting him so many times, you must be aware of the Mistal family traits. Hotheads. Would-be heroes. And complete idiots. Can you believe the man was so eager to accept his duel to the death? The very thing that soiled his family name to begin with. Him? Oh, his stupidity made it possible to tie up loose ends with a simple performance? You are correct, my friend. Now all that remains is to change my name and set out on the road once more. With the power of the Mio mirror at my disposal, I can coerce any noble with shady secrets into my service. I will restore the Marquisate, create a new order of knights, and resurrect the Remavel name. There's but one thing I have in common with Louverance. The unyielding desire to sear my name into the pages of history. I take my leave of you. Farewell, Lord Runner. Well, happy ending? Question mark? Let's try 1 second. Oh, I don't know. How would I know the answer to that, Zachdeft? I haven't played the game yet. I mean, yeah, probably, Mr. Red. Alright, let's just do Winders. Let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, it's pretty common, Zachdeft. Depends on how good of a job they do, really. A little while back, the Fisherman's Guild ship party crashed by a trio of wandering comedians. If they were boring, my mates preferred to pitch themselves over the side than listen to another joyless joke. We figured we'd be doing Vanadil a favor if we just marooned those jesters on an island. Yes, please! Murder them! Murder them. This is no deserted island. It was the Purgo Norgo Island in Bibiki Bay. It's a strange character there who doesn't take orders from no one. The stubborn sea dog should be suffering their puerile puns as we speak. Do I have to? A decent chunk, Valerian? Not all of it. I gave up on the show after a while. It was just too long. It was just too long. Yeah, okay. Oh my god, it's actually working. At this point, I was expecting the Nexus cape to never work. I'm just saying, every time it's been useful, it hasn't. Hi, Mr. Rip. Oh, it's Lore Runner. An untested audience. We'll give you some candy if you stay and listen to a performance. I would rather die. In real life. Did you hear? We toppled a Titanic terror and saved the world. All in a day's work, you might say. Of course, it wasn't easy pretending to be under our enemy's control so we could take them by surprise. You were magnificent. You were kooky. It's about time I exited stage left. But listen to this. An adventurer called Lore Runner thinks he stole the show. Can you believe that? He's so mean. He's so terrible. He's so ugly. At least one of those is true. I guess. Hey, stop right there. Are you laughing at us? It's time we showed our artistic temperament. Where did these striplings learn such powerful magic? The hell did you assassins spawn from? Spawn? Assassins? How rude, we're the stars of the Chibuki show. I don't care if the King of Sandoria's royal bedmakers. Your magic won't work on me. My wife blasted me with meteor so many times I don't even feel it anymore. That's right. You see, I've been slowly building up a tolerance for meteors. How about tasting the meteor our mom used to make? Let him have it. I think we overdid it again. Well, he asked for it. We showed him who's boss. You just... Yeah, it's your kids. They're your kids. Maki, Kuki, Chiruki. Does this mean... Could it be? This weird guy is... your father. Hey, what about me? There. You must have been so lonely out on your own. And arguably the worst characters in the entire game. There's no FF13 hope situation here, Valerian. These kids are terrible. I'm sorry. From now on, you'll live here with me. I'll never let you go again. This is just wonderful. But wait! One thing is not quite right. I've always dreamed you would call me Papa. Could you do that for me? And then I'll say Papa. And while they're distracted, I kill all 4 of them. The end. Happy ending. You'll have to excuse the outburst of emotion. Even ex-bounty hunters have their soft spots, you know. I'm meaning to live out the rest of my life with my children, happy and safe. For the moment, we'll be staying on the island. As you know, I'm a target for some pretty nasty characters. They could come after me again at any time. When that time comes, I may need your help. But there's something more important that needs to be said. Children, you should show your appreciation for this adventure for bringing us together. Let me hear you say thank you. Thanks, Mr. Meanie. Thanks, Mr. Terrible. Thanks, Mr. Ugly. What? Who knows where they pick these things up. Thanks, Lord Runner. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm gonna murder your kids. And give them one last story negative. That's not a joke. Anyways, moving on. I guess Hearth. Bye, Mr. Red. Mr. Red, I'm going to leave you here with the 3 kids. Can you take care of them for me, please? Thanks. Appreciate you. Hi, Otherworld Nebula. Speaking of Stargate. Yeah, where did Tenzin? I know, right? Von Falkenstein. I mean, trailers... Ow. Rarely have to do directly with their thing in question. Ow! 1 second. Yep, nope, that's a splinter. What in the world? How did I just get a splinter? Like, just now. I suppose I just noticed it. Might be more accurate. 1 second. I know how to get rid of splinters. Well, I might need to get the tweezers. Yeah, damn it. I'm gonna have to get tweezers. I'll be right back. Oh god, it's X-Tip! Ah! Well, everyone, I brought back the ultimate evil. Sorry. My bee. Yeah, Magic kept complaining about the Castlevania music, so I figured I'd switch it. There we go. Wow, sorry for how long that took. Got it. I mean, you picked it, Mr. Ed. I don't know what you want from me. Okay, what am I doing? Haru. Hey, wait up. There's my sister. Wasn't she with you? Or did you hear she was taking a ship from here? Such an innocent kitten. Why would a Sin Hunter's confidential activity be made public knowledge? If you're looking for Shikari Z, she's talking to Ko Linbalalako. Isn't that the person Mother used to talk? No! Why? X. Keeping out of trouble, I trust? And Lorewinter, you've got a hunter's instincts to find me here. My sisters have told you I am to return to the homeland. I'll be taking the ferry to the nearby port, then boarding a ship bound for El Shimo. It's probably the last time we'll see you. Would have thought those words would be hard to say. Must come quite a relief to you, though, like a rabbit has eluded its pursuer. Am I right? Your honesty is refreshing. Let our farewell be just as uncomplicated as your feelings. I'll keep this brief. After returning to our homeland, I'll make a full report to the Queen concerning Promathia, Altana, and the sins of their children. Citing the struggle of the people against these sins, I will dispute the crimes of Maldurian, Prish, and the Worms. Finally, I will renounce my name as a Mithrin tracker. Whoa! What? I have long thought that the reason behind our deception at the hands... on the reason behind the deception at the hands of Mildarian and Prish. While traveling as their companion, they proved to me there was no other recourse for their actions. Mildarian and Prish interfered with our investigation in order to prevent a greater crime from being committed. A hunter tracks sin. It is our duty to seek out crimes and dole out punishment. These crimes I hunt, against whom have they been perpetuated? For whose sake am I judging the criminal? As I pondered these questions, these words began repeating over and over in my mind. The very act of hunting sin creates sin. To not hunt sin is also a choice. That was what our mother used to. This line of thought is an anathema for any Mithrin tracker. Part of the reason I wished to battle Promathia was to silence the doubt in my heart. And then I felt it, the sense of justice! Even if I lose the title of tracker, or rather because I will lose it, true justice will be possible. I'll become Catwoman. Words cannot explain it. It is something you must learn about as you live here. Do not lament the fact you have yet to learn this truth. I only wish for you to understand the path I have chosen for myself. My journey with you has brought priceless experiences and valuable time to think. I have no words to express my gratitude. If you continue to battle the emptiness, we may yet meet again. When we do, call me by my real name. Okay. Gotta be honest, I don't remember it. I know you told me it, I just don't remember what it is, because this is FF11 and I don't remember anybody's names. So, you know. Snap out of it, Fuzzer Brains. It's time to see your sister off. Yeah, after all, she's still our big sister. We're not just hunters of sin, we're guardians of those we love. Even if we have to kill them first. Okay, 1 second. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. That might work. Let's do this. What do you think about this for Relude? Oh, there we go. That's right. That's it. That's it right there. That's the one. Give me 1 second. Ugh. Okay, so let's pull that down by, let's say about 8. That sounds about right. Oh, God damn it. Really, Mr. Red? That's actually surprising. Of all the games for you to play. So, Valerian, I got a question for you, right? We've all talked about how to make this game a good game, a different game. One of the random-ass ideas that occurred to me, and I wanted your thoughts on this. What if we made it turn-based? Like, I know it's already kind of turn-basedy, just kind of by its nature. But, like, actually go into it. And we know that the concept of multiplayer real-time plus turn-based exists because we have games like that. Whoops. Didn't mean to hit that button. Sorry. Okay, where am I going? I wasn't going to mention Dragon Quest X, because obviously I don't know Dragon Quest X. I was going to point to Divinity Original Sin 2. Or Baldur's Gate 3, both of which pull it off pretty smoothly. The basic idea is that when you enter combat, there's a separate shell, and everyone in combat gets pulled into that shell, right? So, within the shell, everything's turn-based. If you're outside the shell, you can actually watch, and you can see the turn-based stuff happening there. But you're outside the shell. If you get too close, or you try to deliberately get involved, you get pulled into initiative, and you're now in the shell, in the turn-based. It's actually relatively simple to do from a code layer, too. At least assuming you build the engine from that. So, FF11, get into combat, roll initiative, do the thing, put in your action, flap. Enemy puts their action, flap, etc. I think it could work. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. Like, there's a lot of different individual details that need to be hammered out, but they're all doable. This is all stuff that's been done at this point. Where am I going? That sounds vaguely Quest 64-ish, Valerian. Except, you know, multiplayer. And not Quest 64. No, I can picture it perfectly, Blair. I get the idea. That's admittedly not what I was picturing, but could also still work. What's funny is it'd be even easier to implement in FF11's case than usual, because if you're not in the party and I tap something, you can't get involved in that fight anyways. So making it so that the you can't get involved is just another layer of turn-based combat. Just nothing, no additional work is needed there because it's already done. Okay, how do I get here? Because I apparently didn't get the guide. Yeah, Ulton Mavalopolos. I'm gonna double check that, because I swore I got it while I was in there. Went there like 3 times. First thing I checked was Promathia. No air. Okay, how do I get here? I may have to go here from Newton. Which I do have. Thank you for the sub, just now. You want fries with that? Jedi Survivor, Sonic Adventure 1. What is this sound? Kingdom Hearts Chains of Memories. What is this sound? Oh my god, it's a not updated map. I don't know where to go. Hold on. Maybe it's faster to go from the other way. Where's Guskin Mines? Nope. Jesus Christ. Okay, okay. Okay, hang on. I can't believe this. This is it. This is what's gonna break me. Okay, no, that's the first thing I checked, Blade Develop. I do not have anything to Oldton. I might have something for Guskin Mines. Check that a second. Yeah, Rabanastre a good pick for Relude. Good idea, Mr. Red. Oh, god damn it! Oh, that's just right there. Okay, that's easy. Phew. Disaster averted. Skeleton warriors! Sorry. Oh my god. I don't know what a ghost is, and I don't care. Oh my god, it's playing in the cutscene. Do you know how? Do you know about Moblins? Do you know Jabbo Jabbo? He's back now. Do you know about Promathia? Did Jabbo meet with the Twilight God? Jabbo Jabbo won't tell. Won't tell us what Promathia said. You have to make him talk. You can convince him to talk. Probably not. Lore Runner, you came to visit me. So, good to see you. But I am troubled. We witnessed the terror of Promathia. We learned terrible secrets. The Twilight God is the father of us all. I cannot bring myself to tell them. Moblins will teach this to others. Angry people will come to fight the Moblins. Just think carefully on this. I will not make the same mistake again. Jabos, you entered Great Crystal. We know you are going to place a Promathia. Jabos. If in this lifts precious YouTube... Sorry, what actually is... Jabos, if you really are a crazy friend of Moblins, tell us crazy truth. Friend, yes, I am your friend. Never lie to you again. I'm not good with words, but I'll tell you what happened. You must believe me. I went with Laura to meet the Twilight God. That's where we learned the truth. We are all the children of Promathia. We always believed ourselves to be the children of Altana. But in truth, we had a father as well. We are the children of both Dawn and Twilight. Jabbo Jabbo speaks truth. You believe me. But Jabbos can't believe the truth. No, I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. But this is the price for my past actions. I've learned all the things I don't want to know or believe. Don't worry. Moblins understand. Moblins have both males and females. For Promathia be a mother, then somewhere be a mother. Crazy Jabbos is alone because he crazy Galka. Must have been crazy happy to find you had a mother. It means beastmen, and people must be brothers. Moblins and peoples are families. Okay. What should I do? Moblins believe they are children of Promathia. Can I tell them the truth? They are my friends, after all. Yeah. I don't know. Are the Moblins children of Promathia? Even if they're children of Altana, they'd still be our brothers. I've made up my mind. It's time to celebrate with friends. I'll teach them we are all a family. Aww. Okay. I mean, obviously better, but we'll just not. These guys aren't trying to summon Titan. Look, Mr. Red. It was too late. It's no use. Do I care which ring I pick up, by the way? Because I feel like a doll. Lady Eshtarl's ship has returned. This is excellent timing. I was ordered to find you and ask you to proceed to the Marble Bridge. My duty is done. I must now journey to each nation and report the Worm King Bahamut no longer poses a threat. Damn it, Valerian, no! I hear this development is all thanks to you and your companions. You have the gratitude of all Junoans. Thanks for trying to arrest me like 3 times. Asshole. A cab, am I right? Also a lab, while I'm on the subject. As opposed to what, Tree Huggin? Real question. I'd like, are there private servers for FF11? I have awaited your return, Lover. You must tell me all that has happened. After clashing with our army several times, the dragons suddenly broke off their attack and disappeared into the distant clouds. There were voices raised in support of hunting the worms into extinction. But for the moment, we have returned to resupply and reconsider our position. Now that you're here and off-screen because you're too tall, I can be certain. I might assume from your jubilant features, yeah, look how happy I look, that the Keeper of the Apocalypse has been defeated. I knew it. Bahamut sensed the Keeper's downfall and pulled his forces out of battle. Tell me, what momentous events transpired at the Celestial Capital? On Cape Riverne, the images that flowed to me from Celsius, they were of incomplete paradise, Altair. People of Altair returned to their deity 10,000 years ago, returned to Promathia. Open the gates of paradise is a metaphor for restoring the shattered Nether Crystal, a way to return the world to its original state. The world becomes a paradise, we ascend to godhood. The Dod maiden Yevonoi has memories of witnessing the true form of the great goddess Altana. Yevonoi spoke to me before we parted ways. She said, as I gazed upon her perfection, I realized I could not be a part of her. I wondered who I could possibly be. That was when she began her research into the race of people. After shifting her focus to the inexplicable disappearance of the Kulu phenomenon, Yevonoi became aware of the darkness that resided in us all. Her realization led her to betray her king and his son, and adamantly oppose any plan to open the gates of paradise. She had discovered our origins as the children of Promathia. But all has not yet been resolved. The emptiness still seethes within the mother crystals, and the surviving Zillards still cling desperately to their shadowy plan of returning to paradise. I gave up my life in Tabnazi almost 30 years ago to infiltrate the organization of the newly awakened Zillard, but I have been unable to stem their vast power on my own. However, we now have a common enemy in the emptiness. For a time, the people of this age will require the aid of the Ancients. The Ancients, too, will continue to need your help. Now that Nagmalada is gone and the worms have ceased their attacks, it's time to remind the Zillard of their true responsibility. The safety of the Mother Crystals in the battle against the emptiness. I will continue to monitor their actions as I watch over the world you and your companions have fought so valiantly to protect. So one thing I'd like you to keep in mind. You were able to save the world and her people without sacrificing one or the other. But do not misunderstand. This possibility did not always exist. It was only the strength and faith of people that such a path could be open for you. I left you a ring. Well, she decided to put a ring on it. Sorry, I'm taken, though. I'm with Olmia. Hi, Evo. I'm about to be given a ring from Olmia. Isn't that great? I don't know what any of this means, and I don't care. I have a better ring. It's called the Warp Ring. Okay, ring get. Sorry, Evo. I'm engaged to 2 separate women. I glanced at the stats. I don't understand them. Like, come on, man. Stats in this game make no sense to me. I've never been able to really process them. Like, okay, strength +2 to 5? That's it? Store TP +5, subtle blow +5. And? That sounds pathetic. I'm sure it isn't. I believe you, but, like, that doesn't mean anything to me. There's my other one true love. No, not her. Her. Have you heard? The worms that were circling above Tavnazia have disappeared. It's all over. The town has finally found peace again. I haven't seen Miss Maldurian for a while, but she sent a messenger. Looks like Juno's willing to continue to support the Safehold. Unlike Nagmalada's flimsy promises, with this arrangement we'll be able to govern ourselves. I've never seen Grandpere so excited. He plans to hire adventurers to exterminate all the fiends, and then sow fields in Lufay and Merzero. He also intends to restore the shepherd villages on the Cape Reverne, though a great deal of the land yet floats high above the sea in an unnatural way. Once the people of Tavnazia have regained their strength and spirit, we will rebuild the Marquisate and reclaim our lives. No longer shall our homes be overrun with monsters. Sure, the dragons are gone, but we got a lot of work to do. And don't give me that sympathetic look. You adventurers have plenty of opportunities to pitch in. No, I'm going to another continent. You must not give in to the lure of battle, Prish. We need you to focus on becoming the leader of the cathedral. What? I'm gonna have to get my work out. Bye. Later. Prish. When I dwell on events, it seems we've done nothing but cause you trouble. And yet you stood by us through it all. We are truly grateful. I can think of a way you could, show me your gratitude. So I've got this board game called Tokaido, right? I'm secretly just trying to recruit people for my board game night. That's all it is. I've been doing all these adventures to get people to actually play board games with me. All right, Tenzin, you play this person. None of them, Mr. Red, because they all suck. That's the price of admission for joining the evacuation ship. You have to play one round of board games with the other evacuees. And thus they were all left behind on Vanadiel to die, screaming. I'm sorry, Evo. If it makes you feel better, I haven't played board games in forever. Although I'm hoping to drag one of my co-op group people into board games soon. Kicking and screaming. By the way, this is the last cutscene for this bundle. We're almost there. We're almost ready to start the next bundle of cutscenes. It's not actually a joke. Oh, God. You know what? Yeah, Jabos would be the kind of guy who unironically likes not board games, you know? Like, Jabos would love the game of life, to put it into perspective. Unfortunately, it looks like it's relatively early in the day. I was kind of hoping to line this up a little better, but that's okay. The only thing I can do is race as fast as possible at all times. So, which is just normal for me, so it's whatever. I am, in fact, out of vanilla Giga Pudding. Oh, I forgot to put up a VOD today. Do that during lunch. Whatever. Stupid freaking things. I had so many other things to do this morning. Not VOD, sorry, that's the wrong word. Clip. Highlight, whatever they're called. Yeah, we'll see how we line up here, Blade Jamal. My mount! My mount! Hey, you found me. Have you been here before? You could see from miles. Get a great view of the town where I was born. Where the end of the world was born. All I ever thought about was the apocalypse would be like. Imagine live out this eternal life. I guess I'll find out. Doesn't matter how. Rebirth of Promathia, awakening of sleeping gods, victory of the beastmen. The world will end. And when that happens, even my immortal existence will be snuffed out. When I stood before that gate, Promathia promised to show me the apocalypse. That's when I realized who wanted to see it all end it all. Who couldn't wait for the grand finale. The poison was me. That's why I hurled that black magicite into the Twilight God. I somehow hoped by sending it to the Mother Crystal with the soul of Promathia, the Keeper of Apocalypse would rise one day again. Miss Meldurian didn't yell at me. She just smiled and said, wait till you meet him. What did she mean? Is your hatred of me meant to be my punishment? I nod. Of course. Yeah, I thought so. That must be why I hurt inside. Why now? I've been the target of a lot of abuse over the years. It's never bothered me. Yeah. But for some reason, you just standing there quietly is more than I can bear. It's all getting kicked or punched or stabbed. I can't get a handle on it. It's frightening. Nervous. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. You're just a mortal, right? Right. How can you close your heart off to me? You sad? Do I make you sad? Is it too difficult? Am I too difficult to deal with? Don't you want to open your heart to me? What the hell is this feeling? What the hell's going on? You and I feel the same way. That's why I can't read you. We share the same soul. No, it's not that I can't read you. It's because I've become the same as you. The magicite in my chest. It's gone. Has my magicite melted away? I know what's happened. I've gotten it back. The thing that makes us mortal. The emptiness. The fly that's on my desk. Damn it. Damn flies. Stop existing. I'm mortal again. That's why I feel so much pain. Damn, being mortal sure is complicated. I'm in pain, but I'm happy. It hurts, but I smile. That's why I can tell you from the depths of my being. Thank you. I can go now. Not simply wait for the end, but be like everyone else. Live. Man, death sure is a good thing. I've got a great idea for some barbecue. You had to ruin the moment, kids. That's it. Negative. Negatives. Negative to outro. Kids. That's all I'm going to write in the the document. Negative to outro. Kids. Or brats, I suppose. Okay. Now. Hang on. Kind of in a hurry here. I need to test something really quick. And then I need to do a quest before it gets too much later. It's already 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, they found their stupid dad, and their dads found them, and God, I hope they'll die. Just drop the nuke. Drop the nuke! Tungsten rod from orbit. Just deal with it. Technically, yes, Cyprus. We're quite literally in the epilogue stuff. Come on. So now I'm in a hurry. Okay, fine. Supernova the sun. I don't care. Just kill them. Oh my god, this freaking fly. I hate flies. God, I hate flies. Okay, that's good, that's good. Why is it so involved opening a door? Don't answer that question. It's this brand new technology we just invented. It's called a door. There's another quest I'm not sure I did, Blade Traval, and it is mandatory. And so I'm just making absolutely sure that I did it. Aw, there's nobody here. Door. I'm telling you, Giga. Brand new alien technology. Oh my god, a fly. It's a fly. I don't have any food, fly. Piss off. Something here for you. Okay, it looks like we have, in fact, done it. Okay, so Zillart 17 is done. Which means we're almost good to go for Shadows of the Departed. Yeah, move. I mean, we're not going to make it in time because we have to kill Bahamut. There's no way we're doing that quickly. Spoilers, sorry. Oh my god! Just a red jump scare. I think I made this one too quiet for once. Lore Runner, I've been looking for you. We have confidential matters to discuss. I must speak with you regarding Bahamut. You may recall him return to the heavens, but I've received confirmation he has once again descended on Cape Reverne. Judging from the activity of the worms, I suspect they have yet to regain their faith in mankind. Most importantly, Tabnazi is in danger. Frisch and Olmi have already been informed. I assume you will also lend your aid. You should depart to Cape Reverne. Frisch and Olmi have probably already departed. Yep, time passed. 1, 2, 2. One, two, two, misery. Yeah, I don't know how much time passed in real life before this stuff came out. Version her lightning hair. Or hat, I guess. I don't understand. Bahamut's nowhere to be found in Monarch Limb. We searched all over the south side. Must be looking on the wrong side. Let's try again, Prish. Lore Runner. No, it's okay. I trust you to summon trust. Get it? I'm so glad you're here. Nothing could reassure me more than your presence. It's okay, I still have your ring, Olmia. A member of the Tabnazian Patrol witnessed Bahamut returning to Cape Reverne with an army of worms. We looked over the south side, but Bahamut's nobody to be found. We're all about to begin searching the north side. It'll take a while, so we should split up. Let's go, Prish. Ish. Please don't punch me. Oh, Lorana, I'm simply delighted to see you again. Surprised? I'm a regular girl now, you know. Tee-hee-hee. I don't believe you. So the guide says it's actually fastest to home point up there. Which means, you know, I should hearth. Amusingly enough. Hang on, I have to get up to those islands up there, so let me go back to, you know, Relude. I go halfway across the planet. Like it's continent. Here's hoping I have the waypoint. Come on. Come on. I don't believe so, Evo. But don't quote me on that. So, go northeast to a normal spatial displacement. In order to reach an island that has a green displacement. Northeast. Yeah, I know the warp spell existed at launch. I do, because that was a whole thing for Black Mages. Warp 1 and Warp 2. And then hearthing? I'm pretty sure dying, you know, blood hearthing existed. But, yeah. There's a cost associated with that. Where the hell am I going? Here, apparently. Oh, north. Got it. North! To the north. Oh, and you didn't go north. You went west. Okay, west! Got it! Going west. Okay, so I'm going to zip through this a little bit at my pace. You're back. You suck. What are you planning? Your friend here holds a bit of emptiness. I sense the embodied emptiness. It's yet to awaken, but it's tremendously powerful. The mother crystals are starting to feel its effect, enveloped in emptiness as they are. It is stirring. My magicite? Yeah, sure, okay. Sure, whatever. Now let's go kill Bahamut. Mankind will be annihilated. You've simply delayed the process. Do you dare defy fate once again to preserve your lives? Stand in defiance and perish. Redeem the world as part of the Mother Crystals. Mr. Red, don't forget to summon people. Time delay. Will he do it? Will Mr. Red summon the trusts? I trust you know the answer to this question. Mr. Red, no, no. Why would you betray us now? What is Bahamut offering you? Oh god, no, not the mistrust. health. Dead, you know. You have delayed mankind's extinction yet again. An age is mere flicker to a worm, however enough flickers unite to form a star. Children of Vana'diel, unite and form a future in which mankind can survive. So here's the funny thing, my Hearthstone isn't up for like 6 minutes. So I'm gonna have to run. Let's go home for now, Prish. We must make preparations and consult with the Cardinal Mildurian. Okay. Loner, please tell Cardinal Mildurian about this next time we're in Juneau. Sure. I think we're actually gonna make it. No, I've used the cape today. I mean, pretty much, Dakota. You call annihilation upon your kind, for this is my designated space. It clearly says Bahamut right there on the space. Why would you do this? I clearly labeled the leftover churros I put in the fridge. Those churros are now gone, and the box lay empty. For this I shall extinguish mankind. Also, Susie will not stop refusing to refill the coffee pot. It is truly disgusting. I think I'm actually going to make it. I just have to finish this cutscene before the day concludes. That's all I got to do. Because we've done Zillart 17. That's what I just double-checked. And we are doing this quest here. And then we have to wait an in-game day. Star of Tavnazia, the store Prish released when Pramathi was defeated. The children of Vana'diel harbor emptiness inside their bodies, even if just a small amount. I envisioned it causing problems before too many thousands of years passed. However, I never dreamed we would face such a threat so soon. We have no choice but to stop Bahamut. I have a feeling he was waiting for you, desiring confrontation. He pays respect to the strong, regardless of stature. It's for that reason he's called the Worm King. You must gather an army of adventurers and challenge him yet again! As for me, I'll do a thorough investigation. Maybe I'll find something of interest. If I can unlock the secrets of Vana'diel, we may meet again. I hope with every fabric of my being that time will come. I mean, she did put a ring on it, I'm just saying. Okay. So, yeah, let's zone out to be safe. Just anywhere. The pain I have realized after discovering my lunch has been stolen is sufficient justification for the destruction of mankind. Few would disagree with me on this. Yeah, no, I was just reading ahead a little bit there, Mr. Red. Yeah, now we wait about 5 minutes. We did it, though. I'm actually really happy about that. That is a combination of luck and skill, but I'll take it. By the way, the next step also involves a day wait. It's okay. We all knew. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, well... Hey, my Hearthstone's almost back up. Oh, stretch. Ah. Oh my god. You know what? So, actually, I've got a couple of tidbits on how to help an eye heal. First and most obvious, close your eyes periodically. Doesn't have to be long. Just close your eyes for like 30 seconds, right? Rest the muscles in there. I'll do it right now. And then, see, 30 seconds. There's actually another tip, though, that was given to me by my optometrist. She called it the 30-30-30 rule. And I'm trying to remember what all of those meant. It was like... every 30 minutes, spend about 30 seconds looking at something at least 30 feet away. So, I'm staring at my screen here, right? So I just glance over there to the side of the room, and I just look at that for a few seconds. You may or may not have noticed me do this periodically on stream. Just a way to unclench the muscles there a little bit. Unfortunately, this room is a lot smaller than my old one, so it's kind of harder to do. Yeah, lighting is a big deal, too. Natural lighting tends to be easier on the eyes, but there is obviously such a thing as too much of that. Oh, right. I was going to do something. So let's turn this down just a little. Let me redo that. Okay. Yeah, so I need 3 slivers. This should be fun. How do I even... I love how the guy doesn't even say how to get here. It's just go to these 3 places and interact with the things. And I'm like, oh. I know. They probably expect you to remember, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. I swear time has slowed down, just to spite me. And yeah, something... I've noticed there's this trend towards people wanting to make fonts smaller. Not just in design, but like there's almost a flex about it, right? Like, oh man, look at all this text I can see. Don't give in to that instinct. Text being bigger is a huge relaxant on your eyes. I know that sounds strange. Like, there's a reason why you can't see it, of course, but most of my stuff is like nice big font here, even despite my gigantic screen. And the exception are the games themselves, which obviously I can't do much about. Basically, don't be too proud to increase the font size anytime you can. Hey! Alright, we've got a day to do this. Let's do this. Lore Runner, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Please come this way. Hey, I remember you from Vanilla. I have a fair idea what's going on. It's surprising to find a Zalartian with a level head on her shoulders. There are 4 mother crystal positions: Hala, Dem, Maya, and Soja. Our investigation into the emptiness surrounding these locations has procured some unusual readings. We put together a research team equipped with the latest weapons designed to combat the emptiness, and sent them to Soja. And you wouldn't guess who they encountered. Well, the ruins of Zoja are under Tenshoto authority. Technically speaking, our researchers were trespassing. Varana had wandered down there like she was being guided by something. I just found this at a place to which I was drawn. Apparently it belonged to a Galka named Roagrim. I'm sure you remember that name. Varana was once the receptacle of the memories of the Shadow Lord. This must be the reason behind her behavior. Similar readings have been recorded from the emptiness found in the crags of Hala, Dem, and Mia. We've marked the points where the fluctuations are strongest. Investigate these spots. If my intuition is correct, you'll find some fascinating discoveries indeed. You're a brave soul, Lore Runner. You never catch me in that awful place again. Once is more than enough. Please be careful. We'll be praying for your safe return. Okay. Tahrangi. Unity, maybe? It looks like Unity or Survival. I don't know which one's quicker. Blake Duvall says book. Alright, book it is. You might even say I have to book it to get there on time. Don't worry, I've already booked passage there. I apologize for all these puns. You don't have to throw the book at me. Tahrangi. There it is. My God, Evo. God, the Book of Grudges, excuse me. Not Grunges, that's a whole different book. Okay, so looks like we want... It has coordinates, but nothing else for where we're going to get these slivers. Looks like we get them from memory fluxes on the 4th floors of each. Is this the broken one? Find out in a second. Nope, that's not broken. I give in to the emptiness within. That's where the puns actually come from. Nice, Evo. Congrats. Now stop straining your eyes. Stop straining. Here, close your eyes. You're not missing anything visually anyways, right? Although, actually, I don't know if you've seen the Prometheans. Okay, keep your eyes open for like 2 more minutes. Just 2. Okay, now you can close your eyes. Welcome to the emptiness. I think it's supposed to be desiccated, Evo. That is presumption on my part. They don't really explain the Prometheans very well. Like, at first I thought these were places that had been eaten by the emptiness, but that doesn't make sense based on what we saw, so I actually have no idea what these things are. No, 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 no! Frozen would make sense, because that would also fulfill the entropy vibe, right? Heat death. Meh. Yeah, but like, it's a bunch of floating platforms in space. Like, where are we? Do these vary? I don't remember which is which. They probably do. Yeah, actually, Mr. Red. As long as they're not too much in the way, like if your window's dirty or has a thing in it, your eyes will focus on that, which is like 5 feet away, instead of, 30. But if you actually see outside, like I can actually see the tree out there right now. That'll work. The point is you want your eye to fixate on something that is 30 plus feet away. Every 30 minutes for about 30 seconds. I really should be more active about that, but part of the problem is it's kind of a pain to do now. Like I said, I don't live in a large room. So the only real thing I can do it for is that far wall over there, or literally outside the window. What the? Yeah. Just my luck, right, Blade Devil? Good sign. how am I getting to... Let's look ahead a little bit. It's Constla Highlands. Let's see. That's going to be... Looks like another survival guide. And what about Lathian? That's probably also going to be a survival guide. Yeah. All of them have unities, but... Oh, Apex. Apex. Which doesn't want to die right now. What? This is the last one. Also, Mr. Red. Mr. Red, no! We lost Mr. Red. Or he's just holding on to the reins of power. And he is British. We know how them British people be. By the way, when is that vote with Binface? Yeah, whatever. Wow, this is... I'm gonna try something really quick, just for funsies. Right now, I'm more focused on this stupid fly than anything else. August 13th, thank you. Well, this does not bode well for our ability to get through this in time. Oh, oh, oh. Wait for me. No, no, what? Go through the memory stream. Stupid game. Okay. Don't worry, we're not even a third of the way through this yet. Hi, Colgrim. Yeah. 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 We're back on the first plane. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen. So, oh, I think I see what happened. Yeah, okay. I see what happened. So what's the respawn on these things? And how many negatives do we get? 1 per minute of respawn, I think? Something like that might be sufficient. Oh, my God. Do you go east or north? Okay. I actually figured it would be north or south. I just picked south. I mean, I don't have any alcohol in general. That's not true. I do have 1 bottle of rose wine. But that's special occasion wine. Yep, when Starfield 2 comes out, I'm gonna pop the cork. Be like, hell yeah, brother. No glass. No glass. Actually, I would be very surprised, but that's just because Microsoft is kind of imploding right now. And apparently desperate to do anything other than make video games. Well, this is another one of those north or south ones. In integration with our innovative AI technology, we're going to make an entirely AI-generated Starfield 2. Oh, I think we got lucky. Holy moly. Tilt the scales. Probably Golden. Probably shorter, too. Fake one? Maybe? Yeah, damn. Alright, never mind. Luck retained bad status. That's a terribly constructed sentence, though. Yeah, I know. Bad luck status retained. There's that better. That sounds like a RimWorld mechanic to put. Like, you can just eat food, but if you prepare it, they'll get more value out of it or something like that.
Yeah.
God damn it. Seriously? Okay, there we go. I was about to say. We're still not 1/3 of the way through this, by the way. Just to be very clear. I don't think we're making it this game day. This is taking absolutely forever. It's already 8. In-game, I mean. Seriously, Dakota? Oh, okay. Hey, Zar. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that cooking literally makes the food more nutritious than eating it raw. And I don't just mean by getting rid of crap, like viruses and stuff. Sorry, Braglin. Sorry. In-game day. In-game day. Like, we gotta do these 3 things, then have a cutscene. And we gotta get all that done before 24. I need to look up if there's a mod for RimWorld that's just get rid of the didn't eat on table mechanic. Just straight up remove the debuff from existence. I can't interact with this. Can't even select it. J10. It says to go to J10. This does not look like J10. Although J10 is like way over there. On the 3rd planes. That can't possibly be it. Oh my god, is it another one of these random... God damn it, game! Stop making stuff random. Stop it. Stop it. Bad game. Okay. Do not seem to be able to interact with this either. Oh, okay, we're done. We're done. Hurry! Run! 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 I'm admittedly pissed off because last night, just on a whim, I was like, I should see where I'm at with my Demi-Atmas for the Relic Quest for Dawntrail. Did entirely too much of those and got 0 Demi-Atmas across the course of it. 25% drop rate, my ass. Oh my god, Conch Islands. Conch Islands. Conch Islands. Conched. Conched. There it is. I have also seen several players complain about how the drop rate is too high. Because people are stupid. Like, that's the end of that sentence. Because people are stupid. It was on the Square FF14 forums. And quite a few people, actually. Why is it a problem? Because it takes too little time to get your relic weapon. Welfare weapons, am I right? Mr. Pink, I got a job for you. Yeah, it really is funny. Even when, you know, WoW BC was new, the term welfare purples was stupid to me. It's only now, with literally over a decade and a half additional experience and exposure, that I can realize just how monumentally, mind-destroyingly stupid that phrase is. Yeah, I like that draw distance. By the way, the add-ons I'm running increase the draw distance substantially, actually. I mentioned before that under normal circumstances, it is disgustingly easy to lose someone. Like, just on the overworld. Like, I couldn't see Mr. Red right now with default render radius. It would be very difficult to do so, Colgrim. To put simply, no. Like, that's not something I could just flip the add-ons off, kind of a deal. No, I mean, like, I'm not even sure how to properly uninstall the add-ons at this point in time. And getting them set up is such a huge hassle that I don't want to uninstall them, only then to have to figure out getting them all set up again. Yeah, exactly. This isn't WoW or, hell, even Guild Wars 2, where it's just drop in folder, done, right? Or ESO, it's another good example. Okay. Now it's 11. God damn it. We've reached the second of these damn things. I love how you can't mount here, too. I get why, but I love how you can't mount here. That's such a good thing. That is true. Alright, time to talk about boobs. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. If they ever explain it, I missed it. Okay. Like, I get that these are supposed to be either literally or representative of places absorbed by emptiness, but I don't know where we are, or what we are, or anything. See, but this clearly isn't the Conch Highlands, hence the confusion. So where are we? Like, is this a draw? God, look how disparate those are. Hang on, I can tell you almost definitively which one it isn't. Because wherever the apex are, isn't it, right? Oh, I don't see it. Oh, it's northeast. I think it's northeast. I think it's northeast. But, like, is this a dream? Is this a alternate dimension? Is this a subdimension? That's actually a common thing in fantasy, right? Even Warcraft had subdimensions. Until Shadowlands came out. Whoa there. Let me guess. Fake one. Of course, it's a fake one. Well, still don't see any apex, so no guidance on that. Oh, never mind. Oh, those are not the ones. Yeah. Ah, no guidance, no joy, no nothing. Yeah, if you put a gun to my head and told me to write what this place is, I would say this is the emptiness reflection of the real world. In other words, this isn't literally the emptiness, nor is this literally... Instead, this is a... Let's call it a blueprint I've seen a few fictions do that concept, a blueprint subdimension. And the idea is that the blueprint subdimension is then supposed to layer over the primary dimension and replace it. Ny'alotha, BFA, if you're familiar with that. Seriously? Seriously? Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Yeah, exactly. A mirror dimension. But of course, they want this mirror to supplant the, the real life. So, I will be honest. I barely understand what emptiness even is. Like, the way they talk about it sounds vaguely like how the word void is usually used in the FF series, but at the same time, it clearly isn't. So I don't know. Also, there's no Gilgamesh here, so... I mean, the vibe I got was that emptiness is their word for entropy. But... although they sometimes use it instead of the word chaos. Light, it's similar to FF14, light is usually used to refer to something that is static, whereas emptiness is usually referred to something that is chaotic. Oh, thank God. It was the fourth one. This wasn't it. I don't think we're making it, honestly. It's already won. Ah. Yeah, this is a problem almost every open world game ever has. Almost all of them. Some escape this. If you have an open world and you don't have something interesting to do from point A to point B, what you've created is a commute. And commutes aren't interesting. They're literally time wasters. There needs to be something there. Something to do, some kind of gameplay, some kind of traversal, some kind of quick system. Something to look at, something to engage with. Even if it's something as simple as taking in the sights and visual storytelling. There needs to be something. So, a lot of these dungeons were level capped, Gigapudding, when this came out. So, these are level 30 because we were level 30. Okay, Lathien. Yeah, a lot of these were mandatory synced. And by all accounts, really sucked. You think I've complained about FF14's mandatory syncing when you do like roulettes and whatnot? No. The syncing of some of these places, from what I understand, was awful. Like, you just no longer have gear equipped. And, like... There's the book. Ah! Lathien. Hang on. There it is. And I don't remember what else, but like, yeah, it's frustrating, right? Hope you got some level 30 gear lying around. Yeah, remember, your inventory space is awful and was worse back in the day. It's actually better now. Oh yeah, I have so much of the Mog stuff. I mean, it reminds me of a section in Final Fantasy IX. Small spoilers for you, Blade Tavall. There's a dungeon where all of your stats are inverted. So lower level gear is better than higher level gear, etc. In that dungeon, there's a bunch of level 1 gear. In case you haven't held on to yours, which you probably haven't. Still a pain. I mean, the Final Fantasy series is usually quite good about itemization. Like, that's honestly a norm. I praise FF6 for being the king of itemization, but most FF games have good... Even FF1 has good itemization, for Christ's sakes. Whoops. I would actually say 2 and 3 and 16 are the only FFs that have bad itemization. The thing that puts 6 so high up for me is that a lot of the best gear isn't in the final dungeon, which I know sounds like a duh, but you'd be surprised how rare that is. But more to the point, I have no idea, Zar. I'm not an expert on Dark Souls 1. But more to the point, because the game knows you want to gear up 3 full parties, there is a lot of gear. So it's not just like, you know, you get the 1 spear and then you get the 1 set of armor. They give you tons and tons of options because they know you're gearing up 3 full parties. So you'll have really good gear before you even walk into Kefka's Tower. And then there's good gear in Kefka's Tower to help supplant that, whatever your holes are. And of course, most of the really cool stuff is outside of Kefka's Tower. Not the best stuff, but the cool stuff. And that's really important. That's the big mistake FF7 made. And the thing I constantly make fun of FF7 for. Like, let us play around with the cool stuff before we go beat the final boss, please. So I see a bunch of Apex to the south, which means it's probably not south. I do see a memory receptacle northwest, though. I appreciate your presence, Mr. F, for whatever that's worth. What do you want to bet this is a fake one? Oh, God, I forgot this one. This stupid maze of not rendering thing. It's probably going to be southeast. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? I'm just going to guess that right now. Because southeast would be like the worst possible thing for it to be. Let's find out. Oh my God. I am actually shocked. Listen, this is the best game I've played today. Well, yep, I can say that. That's another thing. FF6 does this thing where most of its gear isn't. Oh, I'm saying this wrong. I'd say about half of the gear in FF6 is chests in dungeons. The other half is procured from doing quests. They're not called quests, but you know what I mean, right? You do Doma's Castle, you get the rewards from it. You do the Phoenix Cave, you get the rewards from that. You go do content, content rewards you gear. I know that sounds like a duh, but it is not always so. Octopath Traveler. FF7 is another good example of a game that doesn't really tend to reward you much for doing content. Like, you do the big materia stuff, right? The huge materia quests. What do you get out of that? Well, assuming you succeed, you get access... Oh my god, Bergman. You get access to a chance to have something if you already have mastered materia. Nothing tells you that, by the way. You just have to have a mastered materia ready to go. When I say mastered, I should clarify. What I mean is all of the materia of a certain type needs to be mastered, and then you can open a huge materia, and there you go. That's true. You do get the third Bahamut relatively easy. I forgot about that. But all the other stuff comes from, you know, already having maxed out a ton of other junk. Useful, but you gotta know it's there. I mean, hell, arguably Cloud's best sword is just found in some random-ass chest in a forest. Barrett's limit break is found if you bring him going back to Midgar. If not, it's lost forever. Like, and again, random chest. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to speak ill of FF7, but you get my point. Four is interesting because there's only really one reward you get for doing a quest in FF4, but it is a non-insubstantial reward. It's the second, I want to say, best sword in the game. Okay, we got it. I've got a minute on my cooldown. That's funny. I've got a minute before I can recall. Nope, we got time. We're gonna make it. All I have to do is do a cutscene and reload, and then wait another day. I should have FF14 up on the side and just be grinding Demi-Atmos while I'm here. You want to hear something funny about how stupid I am? So I looked at that word Demi-Atma, and for the longest time, my brain just kind of kept twisting itself into knots trying to figure out how to pronounce it. Demi-Atma? 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 It took a moment for me to realize it's literally just Demi-Atma crashed together. If I was going to serve an FF villain as a minion, who would I serve? Let's go through the list for a second. So Garland is out. He also probably doesn't even have minions. Oh, fucking earth. Mateus is super out. I'm not working for that jackass. The Cloud doesn't have minions, so that's out. Zemus is a supremacist, and I am not a Lunarian, so that's out. Exdeath is interesting. Exdeath has a degree of command ability and charisma, and actually manages to be a leader. But he's also trying to destroy all of reality, so maybe not? Kefka would torture me on a whim, for fun, or because he's bored. Sephiroth wouldn't even notice I exist. Ultimecia would mind control me or use me as a literal puppet. Kuja would not value my life in any way, shape, or form, which means he'd be a typical rich person. Seymour, once again, wouldn't value my life, but I'd have to listen to his voice. So these are what causing such unusual activity in the emptiness. I can feel the aura of those who return to the Mother Crystals. Nagbalota, Elden Arch, even Archduke Camelot. Could it be possible they're trying to break back into this world? Will they return us with, or will they return us something more sinister? Lorber, we must put a stop to this. Tomorrow, of course. Literally. By the way, literally. These reincarnations are beings that have chosen and been chosen by the emptiness. I fear their power will be beyond any race that has walked Vana'diel. Go prepare yourself for battle, then return to me here. So yes, Apocalypse nigh. So let's zone. And then wait a few minutes. Here. So, having talked through... Oh, and then there's Vayne. Excuse me. Then there's Vayne, speaking of FF12. Now, Vayne is a cold fish. But he would never waste my life, I don't think. Vayne is too pragmatic to waste me, if that makes any sense. He might order me to kill myself, but he's going to do so for a good purpose. And yeah, Vayne also bothers to maintain the loyalty of his men, and for good reason. So honestly, Vayne is probably my pick there. Also, I kind of agree with his goal while we're on the subject. So it's kind of related. So yeah, I picked Vayne, and my secondary backup picks would be Kuja and or Seymour. Ugh. Oh yeah, I guess I should acknowledge that 13 exists. So then we have Barthandelus. Someone who actively wants to butcher millions of people for a chance to go home. So... Well, the question Mystic Maker asked was, and you'll forgive me for quote-unquoting here, serve an FF villain as a minion. Usually that means what we call the central villain. Not necessarily the primary villain, or the person who's the most evil, or the person who's most responsible. The villain, the iconic villain of a particular game. For example, Seymour isn't even the last boss, or the second to last boss of his game. But he's still the villain of FF10, right? If Seymour told me to style my hair like his, done! Because, yeah, like, in most of the FFs, we can point to someone who's worse than the main villain, right? In FF4, we actually started that, I'm pretty sure. Well, we could argue in FF3, we started that with Zand. But really, we can get going in FF4 with Dr. Luge, our prototype Hojo. In FF5, we have Inuo. In FF6, we have Geshtal. In FF7, we have Hojo and President Shinra. And arguably Rufus. In 8, we have President Delling, who is frankly worse than Ultimecia. We also have Adel, who by all accounts is a complete monster. In 9, we have the Terrans. Spoiler. In 10, we have a lot of options. Can I explain Necron? So, yes, I can. A lot of people have gotten very elitist. Pendulum theory, right? A lot of people are like, Necron is stupid and comes out of nowhere. And so the pendulum swings the other way. Only a moron wouldn't understand what Necron is. Both of these positions are wrong, obviously. Truth is somewhere in the middle. Necron is what we call a thematic final boss. Now, the game does not do a good job of portraying this. Let's just be very clear. FF9 is actually probably one of the worst FFs for explaining its own lore. And in fact, I know several people, and I will count myself amongst that, who, when we first played FF9, did not understand what the hell was going on. Because FF9 just barely explains itself. Necron is supposed to be the literal embodiment and personification of the inverse of the Crystal of Life, aka the concept of death, of cessation. Necron utilizes the actions of Kuja against the Life Crystal as proof, evidence of the fact that life has decided that death is the correct path, and now it's Necron's time to shine. The party then defeat Necron, at which point Necron decides to go ahead and go back to slumber for an X period of time. So kind of a primordial, almost Titan kind of a thing, like Greek mythos Titan. And no, nothing really properly explains that in the game. Yeah, I wouldn't go with the main villain, any of the main villains of FF16. They're all terrible in different ways. Remember Twitface? Miss, I want him to be tortured because he's the wrong son. God. That's not a spoiler, that's literally in the demo, so I don't feel bad about sharing that one. She is a horrible, horrible human being. Sorry, I'm gluing the last bit of this gemstone together while I wait. So easy to overdo super glue. So we're just going to do $1. There we go. I'm going to need the 1. What do I think the worst person is in every FF? Don Corneo. It's not a joke. Carneo is gross and petty, in addition to being just generally messed up and evil. He regularly invites women into his chateau to have sex with them, and then he leaves the leftovers to his minions, who can then have their way with them. When he's done with the women, when he gets bored of them, he feeds them to his pet monster. Yeah. Don Corneo is the worst. I was actually talking about this with Blue Wind recently. They were... It's a good question. Probably politics or mechanics. We were talking about it and how, like, there's this weird thing about most FF villains where there's, like... They're not that bad. Put very, very simply. They're not real-life villains. Because you know how that works, right? Fictional villains are never going to be as bad as real-life villains, because I've said this quote before. Most authors are not as evil as people are in real life. Most fictional writers essentially cannot conceive of the level of evil that real-life people have. Having that level of creativity and the passion and drive to sit down and put pen to paper, metaphorically, almost precludes you from having the kind of diseased mind that could do those sort of things. So generally speaking, most villains in things like Final Fantasy games honestly aren't that bad. Not compared to, you know, real life. So when you have something like Don Corneo, you have something a little bit closer to approximating them, because people like that are a real thing. Probably what the inspiration was, actually. And yeah, I'm actually with Dakota. We should have just killed Corneo while we were there. Like, we had the opportunity. Kill his ass. I will be right back. You know what? Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, that's exactly why Dolores Umbridge is worse than Voldemort. Pretty much the exact same concept. Is Xbox's new CEO? I assume you mean Microsoft Gaming's Twitface McGee. And no, she is what we call... Well, she's actually a hatchet man. Usually I hear that referred to as a chainsaw boss. So yes, she is evil. She is a villainous person. But to be quite slightly more accurate, she's a whore. I don't say that as an insult. I have plenty of other ways to insult her. I mean that as a statement of fact. Yeah, she was hired for being evil. Her point and purpose is to be the person that everyone hates and fears and is like, oh my god, and takes all the blame for, you know, axing all the jobs, ruining the company. Sometimes it's done because they want to lower costs. Sometimes it's done to do a tax write-off. Sometimes it's done because they want to spin off a company or sell off a company. But either way, you bring in a hatchet, man, to use the hatchet. Yeah, exactly. And when the job's done, she just moves on, like any other CEO. Whore. Oh, oh, oh. It's Fires Day. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm actually pretty proud of how good I've gotten at navigating these menus because, as I've complained about before, there's a little delay. I don't know if it's just with the controller, because Blade insists he doesn't have a delay, but I definitely have the delay in this game. Just like a couple frames of delay every input. And it makes... If you ever wonder why sometimes I'll stick on one menu choice several times, it's because I've missed the timing on my inputs. Lore Runner, let us discuss what needs to be done. Yeah, exactly, Metaboard. This is an interesting song. Hold up. That's not a fly. That's a mosquito. Hang on, hang on. Hang on. Got it. The fly's also here. I'm going to leave him alone. Although, I got a hand on him twice. He's already flying erratically. I'm pretty good at hitting mobile objects like that. I still have some reflexes. I have returned from an audience with the Worm King. If the Keeper of the Apocalypse is indeed attempting to cross over to this world, there's but one option left to us. We force the Keeper to appear on our terms. And then we crush him! This was Prish's original plan. Ulmia will sing the Lay of the Immortals in the presence of the fifth crystal. The time has come to use the completed song, the verses you discovered on your journey. I have faith Ulmia can conform the piece with little trouble. Make your way to the Sea Lion's Den in Tabnazia. Okay. But no, someone asked in comments recently, is the no polemic rule removed? No. The nature of what is polemic has changed, as indeed it always does. The very reason I've always called that the no polemic rule is because what is polemic changes. It changes based on time, it changes based on location, it changes based on audience. Saying the twit-face McGee in charge of Microsoft Gaming is a horrible human being is not polemic. At least not amongst, you know, not here. I'm sure there's some places where someone would be like, ring about that, but it's not around here. Yeah, unfortunately, things are not boring. We need more boring in the world. Where am I going? 3, maybe? Yes. No, 2. I mean, probably Zactaf. Blum's a professional. I'm actually 100% serious about that. You want my... If I was to run for president, you know what my slogan would be? Make America boring again. That's not a joke. We have too many rock stars in politics. We need to get rid of that, frankly. It should be boring. Because it's serious, real things that affect real people's lives. We don't want some big back-of-the-box slogan that's like, oh man, we're gonna fix everything by doing this one weird trick that doctors hate. No, stop it. Yeah, may you live in interesting times is a curse, as a reminder. This ship of yours made a way back here of its own accord. Must be that autopilot thing Prish was talking about. I've resupplied the airship so you can take off anytime. Thanks. Hang on. Gotta rezone. Oh, it would never work. Nobody would ever vote for me. They would want a rock star. And I am not a rock star. I am a boring man. Also, I refuse to run under Democrat or Republican parties because both of them are garbage. Lowrunner, I have awaited your arrival. Hi, Prish. It is my fault that this terrible thing is occurring. I have no excuses. I always feared my act of relinquishing the Star of Tabnazia would one day bring the world back to the brink of destruction. But to be completely honest, I am overjoyed this darkness has given us another chance to meet. Truly, I am. Prish, stop this nonsense at once! Why must you insist on playing the clown at a time like this? You truly are incorrigible. Ah, come on! It's been so long since I've seen Lowrunner. A normal reunion would be kind of boring. I just wanted to spice things up a little. You're trying to cover up your own awkwardness. That's not true! Oh, hey, it's the Cid! Sorry, it's the only part of that song I actually like is the drum beat that leads into the second section. Lowrunner, Cardinal Maldurian will be joining us later. Let's begin our journey to the 5th Mother Crystal. Our mission will be a success. I know it in my heart. I don't even know what that is, Bragwin, but grats? Hey, Doom Rider. One moment, please. F7, R2, Jedi Survivor, Stellaris. Thank you, Doom Rider. Much appreciated. 1,389. That's actually higher than I expected. As strange as that might sound. There are MMOs out there that would kill for that kind of a population live. Concurrent population on a server. Yeah, I know most of those are probably not actual players. Still, every one of those is a sub. Where am I going? This way. I thought Giga did a trial. No, Mystic Maker. You've killed me, Mystic Maker. But I do appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. You may or may not know this, but you can put it towards up to 3 future streams if you would like to. You can also just put it to dealer's choice if you don't feel like picking something. Or you can use it to add something new to the list. One new thing to the list. Dealer's choice tends to go to stuff like this. This game was like 80% dealer's choice. Yeah, don't mistake me. It had some dedicated backers, but this was a dealer's choice pick. Alright. Cutscene. Cutscene? There we go. Absolutely. So we'll put that towards FF7 R2, Cyberpunk, and Dealer's Choice. Appreciate you. Prish, Olmia, Lore Runner. Tenzin, aren't you? Oh, whatever. Why are the kids here? You seem surprised. Well, our last parting of ways did seem somewhat final. But you couldn't expect us to stay at home shivering in our fur when word of this reached us. As the Moblins say, don't leave a hole half dug. Are we digging holes for the graves? Not very optimistic, are we? I never thought I'd don this armor again. Cardinal Mildarian is not one to be ignored. Wow, the whole gang's here, all because of my selfish mistake. My apologies, and my thanks. Alright, everyone, let's kill the kids! Yeah! The time has come to kill the kids! They need to have a new expansion. Final Fantasy XI, kid killing. And it's just, the whole expansion is just killing those 3. So, I think I should be able to skip all this. Because, I've already done it all. Yeah, so I think I could literally just pss right in. Oops. They fell over a cliff. Oh no, the whole expansion is finding new ways to kill them. Over. And over. Like each, you know how the quests have specific requirements? Go here, do this at this spot. It's all about killing the kids in a specific way, at a specific location. When am I getting rid of this stupid sprout icon, by the way? I've been playing this game for like 150 hours. I'm level 99, 49. And I'm about to be done with Promathia. I've literally been to space, yo. I always wanted to come back to this place. You know, for a picnic or something. Still making unrealistic wishes, Prish. Miss Maldurian. Aldo? Who's that loser? I'm sure you all know Zeed. Debt to pay to the debt to the ancients that needs to be repaid. I will fight alongside you. I must see this matter put to rest. I like how rather than like a big dramatic build-up, this is just kind of alright, let's finish this up, guys. Like, this feels like a victory lap, which it probably should. I mean, this is a threat to the world for the 5th time, I think, at this point. Here it come. I gave Prish a positive. I think I actually gave her 3. 1 for animation, 1 for storyboarding, and 1 for just the character. Bound together by the crystals. We will soon become one. I love it. You assholes are so petty and small-dicked that you're still trying to destroy the world from the afterlife. I have already killed y'all. Could you just quit it? Something else. A 5th poison? So the Shadow Lord, Nagmalota, Camelot, I don't remember the other guy, Eshka dude, and Lion? Well, time to kill Lion. Again, I guess. The stone she would not relinquish. It's been shattered by your song. Our divine transformation is at hand. Why is the Shadow Lord here? In lore, I mean, like... Hi, Celsius. No, she couldn't. He went physical immune, Mr. Red. She's like, bah! 0. Oh no, a nullifying dropkick! Alright, let's start with these two. You shall be the first. That's what I just said. That's my line. The first to taste the vengeance of the dead. Guys. Go back to bed. You're drunk. see how long it says. Whatever. Time to die. Hey, Ross. We are literally in space. That's the planet down below us there. We have been to space, yo. Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you over us bodying them, Mr. Red. Oh, damn it. Too late. Wait, what's against the storm? Well, either way, thank you for being part of the show, Kira White Noise. Give me a moment. It might be one of the tryout games, which I don't have all the names memorized. But I'll put it towards Patch Night. A Rift Breaker. It's against the storm. It's on sale right now. Ah, yes, this is the post-apocalyptic city builder. Well, enjoy non-existence, you hacks. Could have just been content in the afterlife, but nope. You're gone now, boys. You're right, I never actually wrote that down. Yeah, we've killed the Shadow Lord 4 times now. I think we're done, yeah. Yes, the battle is over. There's only... She appears to be unharmed. There's some trace of emptiness, but it'll cause nothing more than a few bad dreams. Thank Altana. It was Lion who leapt to the crystal to save us all. I'm so glad she's still alive. Her struggle with Eldenard continued within the stone. Let's get her home to Nord. I feel greatly about Lion. Your red hair. Yeah, I know you. The nightmare I had. You were the one who carried it on for me. Reunion. Make sure you fulfill your promise when she gets better, okay? The world only grows larger the longer we live. New lives born, new lands discovered. There's always new adventures to be had. You might even say there's treasures of Ut Agarid. I don't know how to pronounce it. Of Agaria. I'm just going to start calling it Agaria. But dude, you don't get a rush, you know? This big world of ours will always be waiting. Waiting for you. So this is done. This is irrelevant. This is done. We're not on Rapsies. Sorry, I'm double checking a few things here. So there's Apocalypse Night. We just did that. Well, we're in the middle of finishing that up. And Apocalypse Night. Okay, cool, cool. This will actually line up decently well, the figure. In fact, let's just Hearth. I like how I have to be rank 5 or higher with my current nation to get this cutscene. I don't know what is required to get rank 5, but it feels like a strange addendum on top of that. Like, how do you even get to this point without being rank 5 with your nation? But fair, Blade Joel. Oh, that would be awful. Imagine you change nations and let it fall off, and then you get to this point, it's like, nope! Oh, wow. In the 2021 update to this game, this was changed to be the next in-game day instead of the next real-life day. Wow. Verena sensed that the lion was alive somewhere. I really wanted to believe her, but deep down I was convinced we'd never see a lion again. You're one of a kind. Adventurers are more than simple sellswords looking to fight the next new monster, the next new land, to bring home the next newest treasure. You fulfill the dreams that others have given up on. That's what makes a true adventurer. Fighting with the ancients, battling the emptiness. For someone who stands at the peak of their adventuring career, I may be bringing up old news. But we will never forget, and there's others too who have given up on their dreams. They will remember you. You should go to Norwegen and see Lion. Your girlfriend is waiting for you. I'm already taken by 2 other women. Both of them are much older than Lion. No, I was gonna get something done. 1 girl per expansion. Oh my god, you're right. You're actually right. Damn it. No! Who am I gonna meet in treasures now? So how did zone control work in this game? Specifically, I mean. Because I've seen that kind of thing in a lot of games, but usually it doesn't actually mean much. You're in charge of this area. And? This guild has ownership of this area. And? Doesn't mean anything, right? Alright, where to, Blade Taval? It's only 11 in-game, so... I got like half the day left. Nashamashao. Chamashao. Nashamashao. Ah, okay. So that's how you get points for your conquest, right? Here's the real question. What was the point of conquest points? Buying gear. Alright. That tracks. And warping. Yeah. So, I don't want to be negative. I really don't. I'd like to argue a negative for that outro. For the entire epilogue chain, really. That we just did. Not the stuff leading up to the actual ending scene, that was legit. I mean, like, by the way, Bahamut's back, and also the Keepers of the Apocalypse are trying to come back from the afterlife to kill us. Okay, high school reunion moment. Okay, Lion's alive. And then we kill them. What? It feels so tremendously tacked on, rushed, and doesn't have any tone to it other than just, huh? Oh, yeah, I got some time. If it's not clear, I mean a story negative. Like, what? Yeah, apparently you get some reward for the quest I'm on right now, which is really good. I don't know. Come on, game. There we go. No, I haven't played Rebirth yet. I think I own it. I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. I have played one, the first one. Good and bad is how I would call that one. Some stuff was really, really good. Pretty much the entire wall market sequence. Everything to do with Barret. Honestly, that was a really great portrayal of pretty much all the characters. Hojo was fantastic. Rufus was great. President Shinra was great. Combat was enjoyable, but I think the boss design was way too padded. I think if I ever, well, when I do a replay of it, I'm just going to crank the difficulty down to lower their health. I sure hope this is all counting, by the way. Because I noticed I was trying something earlier off camera. I can't go back out to any of these. It actually gives me a warning. You cannot use this without Empire authorization. Is it a one-time pass or like a permanent pass? Oh, this guy. A runic portal use permit, if not participating in an assault mission. My standing is 150 points. I can purchase a permit with 200 points. Good to know. Probably not, Mystic Maker. We'll see, I don't know. I'm a little bit off the map here. I have not read ahead particularly much from this point onwards. Not counting the Rhapsody stuff I've already done on accident. I also really didn't like the side quests they added to FF701. They didn't add any substantial story to them, and they felt like pure padding. Some of the visuals were good, some of them were not. And I hated the plot. For the sake of not spoiling, I'll not mention it here, but if you know, you know. Also, the entire outro can go to hell. Yes, I do, Blitzel. Yeah, showing Sephiroth in the first, like, hour of the game was certainly a choice. Yeah, the entire outro was just, what the hell? Even speaking as someone who actually watched Advent Children, I was still just rolling my eyes the whole time. And the fight wasn't even interesting, or I guess fights. So, bit of a mixed bag. I would say FF701 was still a fairly strong net positive. Just not a clean net positive, you know what I mean? Then again, how many FFs are cleanly positive? I'm gonna give 4. 4 FFs, which are just positives. So, and that's true, Blade I can't argue that. Although I've gotten a lot of flack for that over the years. For those of you who haven't heard me say this, I do not think the FF7 outro is good. I don't. I think the final dungeon is disinteresting at best. I think its itemization is bad. I think the enemy design is bad. I think the weird way it does its items, if you send certain people to certain routes, which changes what you get, which basically mandates a walkthrough, or doing it twice, is bad. The final bosses are not interesting. Good music, but the bosses themselves are not great. Do I... Okay. 1 silver. And then the actual ending is mostly nonsense, and frankly bad CGI, even for the time. Also ends without resolving anything. Twelve's biggest... I actually agree with you for the shoot. 12's biggest flaws are obviously outro. Duh. But, the optional stuff. Most of the optional side content of FF12 kinda sucks. I don't mean the hunts. I mean, like, everything else. And there's so much else, right? It's also an incredibly grindy game if you want to get towards the top end. And it's ridiculously grindy if you want to go do any of the super bosses, of which there are several. I myself have fought Omega 12, Yzmat, and Zodiark. And I feel like there's one super boss I haven't fought. Might be misremembering. How many FFs do I think have a solidly good outro? Too early. That's my fault. I think there are 4 FFs which have a solidly good outro. On all axes, to be clear. If we split the axes up, this answer changes a little bit. But I think 4, 5, 6, and 8, of all things, have good story and gameplay outros. Nine has a good story outro, but the gameplay is pretty lacking. 10 has a good story outro, but the gameplay is pretty lacking. Ones just sucks top to bottom. Twos sucks top to bottom. Threes? 3 is better, but still not great. Sevens I just complained about. Bad on both axes. 10-2s is strange. Because some of the best plot story is in 10-2s. But also some of the worst. And gameplay-wise, some of the most interesting fights are there, outside of, like, the optional fights. But at the same time, the dungeon itself is literally a singular corridor, with no actual gameplay to it. So 10-2s is a very mixed bag. Tactics, since I tend to not consider tactics, tactics falls off really hard, on both axes. Like, the story effectively stops once you kill your brother, right? And the gameplay of those last few missions is just, so, here's a bunch of high-level stuff. Have fun. You know my opinion on 13s. I just played that earlier this year. True. To go ahead, very true. What am I missing? 12s. 12s is kind of a weird one. Did you go back in? Okay, got it. Yeah, we're waiting. You don't understand, Giga. We have to wait one in-game day, which is about 45 minutes, I think, in order to progress the game. That's not a joke, by the way. 12s is interesting. So 12s... Oh, absolutely, Mystic Maker, sure. No apology needed. I usually don't lock this stuff in until the end of the night, so I just have a text file over here that I used to keep track of all this. So I'll just put down Civilization 5 there. I'm done. That's a game I'm looking forward to playing. That's a great freaking 4X game. Anyways, 12s actually has a pretty solid story outro, all things considered. The final confrontation with Vayne, Gabranth's story coming to a final conclusion, everything to do with the actual ending. Like, I'm kind of with most of it. Gameplay-wise, it is pretty bad. Anybody who knows me knows, I am not a big fan of The Lighthouse. And Bahamut is a joke. But story-wise, pretty solid. 13 sucks, I already mentioned that. 13-2 is a weird one. Because 13-2 actually has a legitimately interesting final boss, followed by one of the most nonsensical endings in FF. Which is impressive. 13-3... France. 13-3 is France. Moving on. I guess that pushes us up to 15. 15's final dungeon was garbage. And 15's final boss is crap. And honestly, I don't like the ending of 15. Story-wise. Like, it's trying very hard to be heartstring pulley. But frankly, 15 managed that better before the outro. Because 15's greatest strength has always been the dynamic between the principal trio. And the problem was the ending of 15... It's all good, Blato. The ending of 15 is predicated so much on the connection between you and your father, who's basically not in the game, and you and Luna, who's basically not in the game. The one and only exception to that is there's one cutscene. It's actually a flashback in the ending, where you get to see your final moment with the trio, with your brothers. That's a good scene. That is a tear-inducing scene. That's it. One good scene. Mystic Quest. So... I am rather fond of Mystic Quest. Call me a weirdo. But more to the point, Mystic Quest's outro has always been one of its strongest points. Oh god, put me by, you asshole. Actually, yeah, for the show. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Most games' outros suck. In general. Like, across the whole gamut of gaming. Most games drop the ball at the end. That's why I'm so harsh about outros. Because the games that nail it are just, you know? Again, FF6. to use, honestly, a really example of that. But Mystic Quests is interesting. I didn't skip 4. It was actually one of the first ones I mentioned. I think it was actually the first one I mentioned. I'll come back to it in a second. Let me finish Mystic Quest, because Mystic Quest doesn't have much of a story axis to speak of, but the most interesting visuals and any interesting plot beats all happen in the end, in the outro. Also, the final dungeon of Mystic Quest is the only good dungeon in the entire game, arguably, with some of the best enemy design and the best boss design in the game. Boop, 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 boop. It also has a legitimately great song to listen to, so that does help. Yeah, it is. You know what? Hang on. Let me just pull up my receipts here. 14, I want to say, Mystic Maker? Something like that. I don't know. It's in the teens. Sup, Giga? Yeah. Yes. 13, 14, 15. Oh man, like, Infinity Dungeon is just so much better than this. Speaking of terrible outros. But hang on. So, you asked about FF4. FF4's outro, I don't want to overpraise it, but it is the first FF outro that I would consider good. Yellow, to use my own terminology. The story is interesting and has some great moments. It's also one of my favorite spirit bombs. You know, everyone praying for aid kind of a moment. And not my actual favorite, just it's up there. Earthbound has a better one. Let me talk to you. Blah 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 blah. 3 what? He asked for 1 silver. All right, I trust you. These are your coins anyways, so I suppose it is your money to burn. Nothing happened. All right, 1 silver. I need to empty my frickin' inventory soon. I've been picking up a lot of junk lately. But yeah, 4's is good. The final dungeon is not great. It is an extended dungeon crawl, but it does do enough with side areas, interesting enemy design, great itemization. Like, you get some really cool, interesting gear going down FF4's. And of course, the final area is legit. And the final boss is actually a fun, properly challenging boss fight, so woo! Whatever. Chrono Trigger is interesting because Chrono Trigger doesn't have... It does and does not have a defined outro like most games do. Chrono Trigger's outro, as designed, is you go through the Black Omen, and then you go fight all the Lavos forms, and then you get your standard ending, right? But because of the more freeform nature of Chrono Trigger, that's not necessarily your outro. I think that works in its favor, though. For what it's worth, I do like the Black Omen. I think it is a good dungeon. For pretty much all the same reasons I just mentioned for FF4's. Interesting enemy design, fun boss design, great itemization. You can get some really, really good stuff there. Good music, lots of recovery points, there's even a shortcut to get back out. There's some visual storytelling as you're going through it, etc. Of course it was Blade 12. It's okay, it's still not the next day. What was I mentioning? I just mentioned Mystic Quest, I mentioned Chrono Trigger. Oh, sorry, I guess I didn't actually finish my thought. So Chrono Trigger has a good, solid ending. Most of the last bosses are good bosses. Most of the last dungeon is a good last dungeon. Story-wise, it kind of varies, but I would still call Chrono Triggers a good ending. Story-wise. Story access-wise. And again, the good build-up to the finale there, which is also important. Really? Okay. So Lufia 2. You know what I think about Lufia 2's outro, story-wise? Like, one of the highest story scores I've ever given an outro. Just ever. Yeah, that's Lufia 2's story ending was solid. Gameplay-wise... I do think it's a little deflating, because it is a victory lap. The moment you pick up the dual blade, you have beaten the game. The moment you finish the towers, you have beaten the game. I still think it's a good victory lap. There's a value in a victory lap ending, right? I just don't think it's super duper great. I think it's good. I enjoyed it for what it's worth. It also dovetails neatly into the story, which helps. Pokemon Violet's ending? So the first ending is really good. The last ending, at the very end of everything, at the end of all the DLCs, is fantastic. It's something... I'm going to spoil... It's just saying this is a slight spoiler, but don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything real. The very, 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 very last cutscene you get in Pokemon Violet is creepy. In all the right ways. It is a perfect encapsulation of the rest of the game. And one of the reasons that game has stuck out in my memory so well on the story axis. Like, you don't expect a Pokemon game to end like that, but woof! And yeah, I was expecting it to ruin it. I was expecting it to be like, just completely ruin at some point, but nope. That stuck the landing hard. No kidding, Blade to Ball. Absolutely, Ross. Not that I have no faith, but I have no faith. I was going to say, we're pretty close to the end of the in-game day. So, I totally don't have insider info, Mystic Maker. Wink, wink. I would say it's a really high chance. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I want to do the Nord cutscene, and that should actually really be it. And then I'm going to go break for lunch. Which means you'll be right. First shift, we finished Promathia and Select. Would I stream Classic Plus? I've chewed on that question a lot. Hang on, this song's a little hard to talk over. I have never been quiet about my visceral hatred for WoW Vanilla, but I should mention that I've played worse. Arguably, I am currently playing worse. No offense to anybody who likes this game. And I want to kind of defend myself a little bit there, because my dislike for WoW Vanilla comes entirely from the fact that I did it like 16 times. I was a main raider. I was a mainline raider and a tank raider, and a healer raider and a DPS raider in Vanilla, BC, and Wrath. And for those of you who don't know what that means I had to level all of those characters through Vanilla. Every character that hit max level before Kata had to go through Vanilla. So I went through Vanilla a lot. I get really good at it. I got really good at knowing which zones to do, which quests to do, which dungeons to do, in which order. I hated it. I hated constantly slogging my way through Vanilla over and over and over again. Now, it's been a long frickin' time since I've actually poked at Vanilla. And it's also worth noting that you notice I'm saying vanilla. Part of the reason I'm saying vanilla too is because Classic is not vanilla. Classic contains several better aspects of netcode, some quality of life features, better interface, and most importantly of all, is the final patch of WoW Vanilla. 1.10, I want to say, something like that. WoW, I played WoW at launch. I played WoW before launch. WoW at launch was a much worse game, and so a lot of my memories are stuck in things that aren't really valid anymore. Oh, nice, Blitwell. It is cool looking. I do like it. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I have very personal reasons for disliking Vanilla, which have kept me from ever streaming it. However, since it has been many, many years since Wrath, 15 years now or something like that, and, you know, there's some distance there, and I've experienced much, much worse games since then. I don't even mean like FF11. Like, I played FF2 on the NES a few weeks ago. I've played a lot worse than WoW Vanilla. I have honestly considered going ahead and committing to doing a WoW Vanilla stream at some point. I still know the game. I still know Vanilla by heart. I know what to do. I know where to do it. I know when to do it. I know how to do it. And if they do some kind of Classic Plus, like, for example, what they did with Seasons of Discovery, that's more fuel to the fire. It is still something I'm thinking about. I have a lot of other stuff I would like to stream, and between the disaster of the last year and having to move twice, and then having the renovations on the house, I am only as recently as when I started this run, which was last week, at a point where I considered myself to be actually settled and back onto normal schedule. I'd kind of like to spend some time playing games I actually want to play, and getting caught up in a few games that I owe to my viewers who they've been consistently donating towards over the years, before I commit to doing another month of doing a terrible MMO. Terrible is an exaggeration, forgive me, but you know what I mean, right? I'm sorry, that was a long answer. I apologize. I'm thinking about it, is the short version of that. So what's a raid I would want added to a Classic Plus? Honestly, Jinthara lore. Music cue. For those of you not aware, one of the last great troll cities in the world in lore is a place called Jintharlor, which is in the Hinterlands. It's in the eastern section of the Hinterlands. It's overrun by the Vile Branch, and both in Vanilla and Kata, you have quests to slowly make your way up the city to retake it for the Wildhammer and for the Amani, I think, actually. But the point is, it's a big old troll city. And it's one of the closest things to an outdoors raid that Vanilla has. And it was a thing back in the day. So that'd probably be my first pick for something to turn into a raid. Just... What about you? Or anybody in chat who wants to share their thoughts? Oh! That's a good point, Mr. Ed. Also, can I just say the Star Fox OST slaps? Can I just say that? Is that cool? Is that cool? Well, let's go wrap this up. Let's go wrap up Vanilla, Zilart, and Promathia. "20 feet was too far, Blade Taval." That would be really funny, Mr. Red. I mean, I've crashed like 4 times. I should probably give the game a negative for crash, because it's happened a lot. The only reason I have it is because I know the second I do that, someone will be like, it's just your add-ons. But, I don't know that if that's true, and I have no way of knowing if that's true. So I don't know. I have not poked at crafting and all that. I don't even know what it involves. Seriously, I'm completely ignorant of it. I haven't even touched it. Yarr, be good to see you. See you and your friends were the landlubbers who saved her. And don't you worry none, she be sleeping it off like the sailor, too fond to Opal brew. The whole ordeal's left me girl a little bit under the weather, but she'll pull through. Hasn't stopped her talking me ears off, of course. Can't get a word in edgewise. I'd just be glad that me girl ain't forgotten about me. Ever since walking the plank into the dark beyond, she still remembers her old man. She may not be my daughter by blood, but she's still the apple of me eye. I do believe a reward be due you. You can have your pick of one of me treasures. I'll be giving whatever's left to your mates that helped you. I don't care. Do I care? Do I care? Got it. Ethereal. Sure, whatever. Here, that'll be a treasure unlike any you'll ever see again. Don't go losing it over the side of no stinking fairy. Yarr, I almost be forgotten. Me girl wants to pummel some beastie that's been haunting her dreams. Stuff a nightmare, she says. Don't make much sense, but I guess you know the truth of it. If you ever need an old pirate's help, just let me know. And... that should be it, right there. We should be... no really... no really... no really... done. The last verse. Yep. That's last verse. Yep. Booyaka. Okay. We made it. Okay, so let me pull up a Turgan. A turkey quests. Yeah, I finished 3 expansions in 2 days. Wink. So let me get centered on where I am in a Turgan. Immortal Sentries? Really? Ah, I think, okay. I just dropped my controller. Oh, God. Ugh. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm almost positive I'm at Turnin. I think. So all I have to do is remember where she is. Which... I mean, I've already decided I'm going to give the one. It is just weirdly disjointed. And it doesn't even have a consistent tone one way or the other. In fact, I would argue it doesn't have a tone, period, which is kind of a problem. Okay. Where are you? Hang on. She is in I-10. So that's like right. I mean, that does tend to be how I remember how to pronounce things. Can you put it? See, I've been kind of excited about trying to finally get into a Turrican for a while now. I should just say treasures. It's easier. Because the general trend of most MMOs, this one included, is that they get better over time. I mean, just look around the visuals and audio of just the zones out here, right? Immediate difference between vanilla. I've been doing a lot of vanilla over the last few days. This way? No, wrong way. This way. However, several people have non-so-subtly hinted that one of the worst zones in the entire game is in this expansion, so... I don't even know what that means, Blade to all. But... Ha! Okay. And yeah, and she should be right there. Okay, cool. Okay, where's a gate guard? What's a gate guard? How is a gate guard? No. We'll do it when I get back. Because for now, I'm gonna go grab lunch. I'll see you guys.